Okay, so the second sip for me is even better than the first. So again, oily arrival, tropical fruits, dried fruits, obvious sherry character. The finish is quite drying, and you get that spicy hit towards the end. But again, as I said, you've got this, yeah, it's like sweet and sour. Like one moment you're tasting that sweetness, it's all very, very sweet and polite and nice. And then you get almost that puckerness that you get from lemons, that sourness that develops, and it changes again. It's very interesting, the playfulness that you get with this, between the sweet and sour notes on this one. Well, good day everybody, and welcome to my channel, Whisky Journey. Today I have another single malt Scotch whisky review for you guys. Today I'll be reviewing the Springbank 15-year-old. The bottle on my left is a bottle for a future review, probably my next review, and this is from the Jake, and it is a signatory bottling cask strength. It's an 11-year-old, and I think it was bottled in 2017. Right, so anyway, on to the Springbank 15-year-old. So just for your information, this is a bottle from 2022, and the batch was bottled on the 7th of November 22, so 07/11/22. Now, with Springbank 15, I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with this bottle, to be honest. Not this particular bottling, but Springbank 15 itself. I do find them to be very batch dependent. I've had some really, really good batches, and I've also had some very poor batches. I had a batch in 2017. I can't remember what time of the year it was bottled, but it was dreadful. It just, to me, just tasted like baby vomit. I don't know how else to describe it, to be honest. It was just absolutely terrible. So much so that I got some mates to try it with me as well, and they all thought the same. So yeah, it kind of put me off the 15-year-old for a while, actually, until I found a few older bottles lying around in a shop, I think from about 2015, that was something incredible. But anyway, so this is obviously a different batch. So this is from 2022, towards the end of the year, as I said already. And as you can see with the colour is quite light. I've had a lot of Springbank 15-year-olds mind that these are 100% sherry cask matured. I've had other Springbank 15-year-olds where it's a lot darker. So this is quite light, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, to me, it's not about that. It's about how it tastes and how it smells. So what we'll do is we'll just give it a wee nose first. And it's been resting for about 45 minutes. I do find with Springbank's time in the glasses is always a good thing. Right, so let's just get onto the nose first and see what we get. Okay, so for a Springbank 15-year-old, it's quite vibrant and fresh. Normally I find with a 15-year-old, I find it quite dense and rich, but not so on this one, in my opinion, of course. Yeah, so I'm getting strawberry, quite tropical as well, sort of tropical fruits as well. Underneath that, there's a little bit of funk. I'm not getting much funk, to be honest. The barnyard notes are there, but they're very much in the back seat, in my opinion. There's some raisinated fruit, dried fruits. There's kind of a sweet sour kind of note to it as well. There's some industrial notes there too, definitely. Bit of copper piping, some earth, some soil, some dirt, motor oil, that sort of feel to it. But yeah, lots of fruit, as I said. Really an interesting nose. Not really detecting any sulfur. Yeah, So fruity, fresh, vibrant, but a lot of the typical notes that you get from a Springbank. A little bit of, there's some mineral notes as well, some coal, a bit of that Campbelltown soot or smoke. It's just a lovely nose, guys. Lovely. Right, let's just get onto the palate and see what we get. Finish is lovely, quite spicy. Right, so okay, so initially when it hits the palate, oily, quite soft, and then when you're swirling around in the mouth, you get those tropical fruits. Raisins, dried fruits, a hint of vanilla. But then you start to get more on the finish, not the initial palate, but more on the finish, you start to get that coastal mineral note. A bit of engine oil, a bit of dirt, and then you get a blanket of smoke and soot. Quite dirty on the finish. A bit of bitterness as well. It's kind of got this, as I said on the nose, it's like sweet and sour, and I'm getting that on the taste. It starts out sweet, ends or finishes sour a wee bit, but then the sweetness comes back as well. So very, very interesting. Very interesting. Sorry if I'm sweating, guys. It's absolutely cooking here today. 25 degrees, and that's hot for Scotland. Well, for me anyway. Right, let's have one more nose. Honey, a bit of honey there now. Barley, I was going to say straw, but no, it's barley. But still fresh, vibrant. Dried fruits, as I said, raisinated fruits. A bit of earth, a bit of dirt, a bit of funk. The funk definitely takes a wee bit of time to make itself known, in my opinion, on this one. But then you get that mineral character as well. Pebbles, brine. Yeah. Lovely nose. Right, let's have one more sip. Okay, so the second sip for me is even better than the first. So again, oily arrival, tropical fruits, dried fruits, obvious sherry character. The finish is quite drying, and you get that spicy hit towards the end. But again, as I said, you've got this, it's like sweet and sour. Like one moment you're tasting that sweetness, it's all very, very sweet and polite and nice. And then you get almost that puckerness that you get from lemons, that sourness that develops, and then it changes again. It's very interesting, the playfulness that you get with this, between the sweet and sour notes on this one. But then in the finish, minerals, coastal notes, brine, blanket of smoke and soot. For me, this is quite smoky. As I said, I think this is a very, very, very good batch. I think the sherry influence, though, is not quite what I've had with previous batches. I've had some other batches which have been very sherry forward. This one, the sherry's obviously there, but I'm getting quite a lot of smokiness from this, which I don't normally get from Springbank 15. I get the soot and the smoke normally with them, but not as much as I get on this one. So for me, that's great. That's right up my street. I like that sort of thing. Yeah, it's just very, very, very interesting. And it's interesting how things can differ from batch to batch. But this is a very clean batch, in my opinion. I mean, I know people talk about sulfur, and I'm sure that there's reviewers out there that would say that this batch there's some sulfur there. I'll be honest, I don't really detect much. I don't detect any sulfur with that at all, to be absolutely honest. I don't at all. So yeah, some batches you will get that sulfur note, and even if there is sulfur in the other batches, I don't really pick it up much. The only one that I did pick up quite a lot of was the Longrow 14 cask strength, or sherry cask, which was full of sulfur, but I love that. I love that dram. It was great. But this one, yeah, if you like, definitely. Sorry, there's a fly bugging me. If you really enjoy the more less of the sherry notes and more of the tropical fruit type notes and the smoke, then this one is for you. If you want a sherry bomb or you want loads of sherry influence and character, this is probably not the one for you. There is some leather there. More on the finish, I'm getting some old leather books, but it's more in the background than up front. But overall, I really like this batch. I think it's a really good batch, and yeah, as I said, with Springbank, always difficult to get these bottles. I mean, this retails at what, £65 at recommended retail price. I think it's about that sort of price. You'll be very lucky if you get it for that. But at £65, would I buy it again? Yeah, absolutely. Would I go out of my way to get a bottle and spend £100 or more? No, certainly not. There's loads of other bottles out there for £100 that I would probably want more. I mean, not disrespecting this at all. It's great, but not £100 odd great for me anyway. But that's just my opinion. Okay, guys, so that was the Springbank 15, 15-year-old 2022 release, bottled on the 7th of November 2022. And as I said, this will be my next review, which is the Lejeune 11-year-old from Signatory, cask strength. Okay, guys, so thanks as usual for watching. Yeah, if you enjoy my content, please like, comment and subscribe to the channel. It's always appreciated. But as always, guys, not much else to say except have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care. Cheers.